Hi, my name is Kirsty Wiseman. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks that you can do with your pro markers other than colouring lovely little stamps. What we'll do is you'll need to work on a like a Tim Holtz mat or a non-porous surface like a big tile or a big plate, something that's not going to soak up the colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to achieve these two different effects here. Okay, and these are only achieved because of the density of the paper. Okay, this one's a very thin paper, it's the Whisper White from Stampin' Up, and this is a thicker cardstock using exactly the same technique, but as you can see, the more dense the paper, the less it soaks up the ink. So if you want a more in-depth kind of tie-dye effect, you use a thinner paper, and for a more splash kind of bubble effect, you use a thicker paper. So I'll show you how I did that. I took two random colours. I just chose yellow and blue, and you scribble onto your mat. Now the yellow, for some reason, doesn't show up as well as the blue, so hopefully you can see that on camera. And use the thicker edges so you get a good coverage. Then what you need to do is take some blending solution, the same stuff that you get in the blender pens, and we'll use a thicker cardstock. So we'll press that down onto the liquids. I have got mucky fingers, by the way, I've been inking all day. So that is one effect that you can get. These are great for collage work or for your ATCs. These are just a little bit smaller than ATC size, but I am going to make projects with them later. So that's one way, and then I'm going to scribble again on top of the area. So take my bluey green, actually that's the marine, and this is the sunflower, and I'll show you the different effect that you'll get with a thinner cardstock. So just chuck on my blending solution again, and this time put on a thinner cardstock, and because this is thinner it soaks up the liquid more quickly. We'll give that a press down. So the difference between the two is quite significant. So the thicker the cardstock, you're going to get more uneven colouring, but on the thinner you'll get more even colouring. So it's good to experiment with different size or different thickness of cardstocks. So they're going to make great backgrounds for all your collage work and your mixed media work. I'm just going to clean off my surface here a little bit, because I'm going to show you the opposite way of using it now. So we have my thin cardstock here coloured with 2 inks and the thicker cardstock coloured with 2 inks, and I'm going to put this blending solution directly on top so you can get to see the different effects you can achieve. And it's relatively inexpensive, is the blending solution, so don't think that you are wasting it. So you'll give that time to work its magic. And again, you can create beautiful backgrounds. And you can see that's gone through because that is a really thin cardstock. And this one's slightly thicker. So leave them to dry somewhere safe or on a surface that you don't mind having to mop up with. So that's more ways you can use your pens. They also look great on metal. Okay, so this is I think this is the 10-second Studio thin foiling metals, the ones that you can actually use the tools with and make patterns. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to use two different coloured, one different coloured pen in extra, and I'm just going to colour randomly on the metal. The beauty about pro markers is they stick on mainly most non-porous surfaces like metal and acetate and tiles and glass. So if you want to do, I don't know, stained glass effect with kids or for yourself or for mobiles, these pens, like I say, can do more than just colouring in beautifully for your rubber stamps. So you could leave it like that on your metal, but I'm going to use some blending solution again just to show how diverse it is. Right, and before that starts to dry, I'm going to throw on a piece of card just to soak it up. because there's no point wasting it. What will happen is that will take a long time to dry because it's metal, it's non-porous. So I'll soak it up with a piece of card, which will be great for another ATC, what have you. Look at the effects, they're gorgeous. And then I'm going to colour in again. Because the blending solution's still on there, I can be able to do some fun patterns in a second. So we'll just colour on randomly. The smell of alcohol in this kitchen is quite strong. My husband's going to think I've been drinking when he gets in from football. Okay, and this time I'll just use a tiny bit of blending solution. And you can leave that to dry, and it will dry like this that I did earlier, which is a great effect. And what I've done is use the 10-second studio tools to create a pattern. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink on that later and make like a metal ATC. So I just burped then, I hope you didn't hear it. And now I'm going to do it on acetate. And the same thing again, just to show you the effects. We'll use the teal and we'll use the red. I do have every single colour of Promarker, and I could have experimented with more colours, but I thought I'd use the more vibrant ones because they'd show up on camera a lot better. Okay, you could leave that at that if you wanted. I'm going to chuck on a little bit of blending solution and leave that to dry. But the effects are gorgeous and rather like tie-dye, etc. So that is another way of using your Promarker pens, and tomorrow I've got another idea to show you. So I hope you enjoyed them and come back again soon. Bye!